So Henry, the club are back in the Football League. How has promotion affected the academy setup?
Well, it was a great relief when we got promoted. We were on our second our second year of the sort of parachute funding that you get when your team gets relegated. The first team gets relegated from the Football League, which would have meant had we not got promoted, we would have lost all our funding, which would have meant the academy would still go ahead, but it just would have put severe restrictions on what we were able to do. Back in the Football League now, we're back to full funding. We've managed to make some staffing changes, some changes to the structure, and have some more staff on board, which is really enabling us now to deliver what we believe is a full, well-rounded programme, and just moving in the right direction to create an environment that gives us the best chance to develop players to come and play for the first team.
So who are the new faces in and around the academy?
So we've had a couple of changes in the coaching staff. In terms of Rossi's moved up to work with the under-21s, which has meant our head of coaching, Dean, as I'm sure many of you have seen him giving interviews, is now the youth team coach, with George Kendall and Jake Littlejohn, who were age group coaches last year, now being the phase leads for the foundation phase, which is under 8 to under 12 for George, and the youth development phase, which is 13s to 16s for Jake. We've now got a full-time education and welfare officer in Ben Ashby, who joins us from a teaching background but also a coaching background as well, so he's coaching with our 15s and 16s. And in addition to that, we've got a new head of recruitment and operations called Joe Monks, who's joined us from Norwich, who was doing the professional development phase recruitment at Norwich. Joe's been a contact of mine for a long time, somebody I've been working to get in the club, and delighted that he's on board.
What are your sort of hopes and aspirations for the academy moving forward?
Well, now that we've got this foundation that we believe we can work from, ultimately, first and foremost, we're looking at the players that we're working with and creating an environment that allows them to flourish as much as possible. And I want to create a platform, which is why we've worked hard to strengthen the under-18s last year, get this under-21 squad to really create a pathway for players to go through into the first team. And if there's something like any academy, if you asked any academy manager what they'd want if they were to look back on their time, well, what I'd want to see is I made people and players better and created a pathway whereby players progressed into the first team and potentially even beyond that, and actually saw some of them do it. We've had a couple of boys who've been on the bench for the first team already this year, in Kai Mackenzie-Lara, the goalkeeper from Naya Shamotan, one of the attacking midfielders who's now part of the under-21 squad, and Hakima Doffin. Ryan Gondo's made appearances, as has Matt Stevens, so it's just starting to happen, and now we're just really keen to keep building and moving in the right direction and get that clear pathway for all players, because when everyone sees it happening, the younger age groups, they see some players that they may have seen playing in the youth team suddenly playing in the first team. Everyone thinks, wow, it actually could be me in 3 or 4 years' time. And once you've got that ambition in the academy, that's when you can really develop players.